What's up, y'all? This is your girl, Nemia Carnese, with another edition of She is Nemia's High Heels and Lipstick Conversations, where we have topics for the mature woman, the grown-ass woman, the seasoned woman, from every walk of life. We aim to uplift, empower, educate, and encourage the woman within, mind, body, and spirit. So let's get to it, y'all. It's High Heels and Lipstick Conversations with your girl, Nemia. Come on and tap in. What is up? What is up? It is your girl, Nemia Carnese. Y'all know who I am. Here for another edition, another episode of High Heels and Lipstick Conversation. It is post Thanksgiving. I'm so glad to see you. It's been a minute since I've been before y'all. Listen, I usually start off with some music. Okay, so let me set, because I need music to set the tone and to give y'all asses a little chance to come on up in here. So let me put on a little music for a little bit, and then we're gonna get into some conversation. Give y'all a chance to come on up in the room. Yeah, I need just a little something to set the tone, set the mood. So let me get my music situation together right about now and get myself connected. Listen, we're gonna have some good conversation. It's been a while since I've been before y'all. We're gonna have some good conversation. For whatever reason, I feel like people like to check into these conversations when there's some pending drama on the horizon. And yes, we're going to do some barbershop talk tonight. We are going to have some conversation with some brothers that I know personally. That's going to bring their personal perspective. But this always seems to pique people's interest, right? So we're going to give an opportunity for some folks to come on in the room. I see you. As you are coming in, as always, I need you to throw some kissy lips in the chat, throw some high heels in the chat, some lipstick prints in the chat. That's for my girls. Like, I wouldn't expect no brothers that's getting ready to check in to throw those things in the chat. So for my brothers who are checking in, I just like to know that you are here. And that you are ready for some conversation on this evening. So you are free to throw some fist up in the air, something in the chat, just to let me know that you are here. Let me get myself together, y'all. Let me get my music together. I was having some technical difficulties earlier, so it ain't right unless I get my music right. Get me a little something to hype me up on this evening so that we can have some good conversation on this evening about the takeover. Okay, so this is the thing. So I'm budget podcasting, y'all. You know, when you're doing it all yourself, then you have to, add the tools on your devices to be able to do this. And so same time I'm talking to y'all, I'm just doing my thing behind. So bear with me while I get this started, get myself started on tonight. Get the conversation flowing. I need music. What is up, my brother? Black Butterfly Pod, thank you for checking in. I appreciate you on this evening. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate the support. Listen, my music ain't working. Listen, that must mean I need to freestyle on y'all. Anywho, let's get this conversation started. Anyway, listen, whenever I start these conversations, I see some folks coming in the door. Listen, if you have never been a part of High Heels and Lipstick Conversation, I just want to tell you what High Heels and Lipstick Conversation is. Simply put, it is just conversation between grown ass people, grown ass folk. Listen, I got a lady following, but I also lend opportunity for my brothers as well. Nichelle said, go ahead and drop them bars. I would if I had my beatboxer. If I had, I would drop some bars. I know you can drop some bars though, Nichelle. But I ain't gonna drop it on them tonight. But listen, high heels and lipstick conversation. We're all about grown folks conversation, women centered conversation, grown ass women conversation. But every now and then, if you have tuned in before, you know that periodically I throw my brothers in the mix to get their perspective. And so, yes, we're going to have some barbershop talk on tonight. I got to put my disclaimer out there because I am streaming live on social media. I'm also streaming live on YouTube. And so I got to just say that, listen, the thoughts and opinions that are expressed on tonight are my own. Okay. These are my own. I'm not representing any company, any organization. I'm not doing this in affiliation with anybody else. So these are my own thoughts and opinions. The brothers that's coming up and will have some discussion with me on this evening, they're representing them damn selves. And so y'all get ready for some good conversation on this evening. So I got to put that out there first. Okay. So listen, before we go into conversation, listen, I got some stuff I want to get off of my chest. Okay. Again, if you are checking in, I see a few more people that came into the room. If you are checking in, please let me know you are here by announcing yourself. Also, would you just like and share, follow, and subscribe? That would be so kind, especially because I'm a newbie in this. I'm kickstarting. I've been doing this for a little while, but still, looking for ways to enhance and improve and content and all that. And so it would help me if you like the conversation on this evening, if you would just do me a favor by liking, subscribing to my YouTube. I'm going to drop the YouTube in here at some point, but liking and sharing this stream with other folks, so they can also be a part of the conversation. Okay. So listen, I got a couple things before we get into our conversation, before we bring our guest up. Last night, so I did not get to see the Grammys 50-year hip hop tribute. Because my husband had me tied up with football. Okay, so I didn't get to see the Grammys 50-year hip hop, but I heard that Will Smith did his thing. Listen, and I, it's a lot going on with Will Smith and all that's in the media, the social media circle about him and Jada and so on and so forth, and that's all good and dandy, but he is viral today because he did such an excellent job. Everybody's talking about him on the media blogs about how great he did, and I just think he deserves his props. So listen, Will Smith had to show y'all asses, his starts and his beginning is hip hop, before he morphed into this mega movie star. He started out in hip hop. He was the first rapper, first MC, whatever you want to call him, whatever, to win a Grammy. So he's a history maker in that way. And then he has movies, number one hit movies consecutive in a row, more number one hit movies consecutive in a row than Denzel, who we love so much. And so for that, he deserves his recognition. He deserves his props, and all of that. All right. Okay, I got some folks checking in. Terry says, I'm here. Taiwan says, just coming in. What's up? What's up? Thank y'all for checking in on this evening. We're just getting started. We're just getting the conversation started a little bit, warming up just a little bit here, as folks come on into the room. And so I'm checking for names in both places. So I'm checking YouTube names. I'm checking my device. So yes, we're gonna have some good conversation on tonight. So yes, Will Smith did an excellent job. I think y'all need to give that man some props, okay? And y'all quit trying to, rake him over the coals. We know Jada ain't Jada ain't you Taiwan said he tipsy, he ready to go. Okay, Taiwan, get ready. I'll be looking for your commentary. Okay. But yeah, I just think Will Smith, y'all need to give him props. Okay. Listen, what else? Andre 3000. So I'm a big hip hop lover. Okay. So I'm gonna confess I love hip hop. I'm mad I missed the Grammy thing, so I'm gonna have to uh recap stuff on social media or whatever. But Andre 3000. Listen, I like his Food album. Any of y'all like his Food album? Anybody besides me feeling the Flute album? Anybody besides me recognizes this is just who 3000 is, that he's at peace. And so not many of us can deal with the fact that because he has bars, because he's so well respected in hip hop, especially Southern hip hop, that he will come out with an album that's instrumental and playing flute. I found the album to be uh, soothing. I have listened to it as I was cooling down, working out, or whatever. And so I think, it's good for meditation. I think we as Black folks need to do more of that meditation. And I think 3000 was trying to just tell us as a people that, get y'all mental health together. And this is something to help you to get your mental health together. I find meditation to be, just for myself, I'm only speaking for myself, I find it to be soothing. Find it to allow me to relax myself. And so I think y'all should try it for that reason. Don't go listening to the album for bars or whatever, but I think it's a good album for that. Now he has been selling, okay, so he's done some billboard work, okay. He's chart topping with this flute. He did outsold all the folks that are chart topping nowadays, and I don't know them because I don't know these little young folks. I don't know Lil Uzi Vert and all them. I don't know their music. I know a little bit of Lil Durk, and a couple of the chicks out there, but I don't listen to that music. So, I couldn't tell you who he outsold, but I know he's at the chart of the top. So Ty says, so should he put this out as a different album than hip hop? I think he's still hip hop. I bet you he wins some award. I bet you he wins some award. It may not be in the hip hop category, but it may make some other category. But I think he's still hip hop. He's trying to show y'all niggas something different. If it don't come with bars and a beat, then we think it's not hip hop. I mean, it may not be hip hop in the traditional sense, but I don't know. He's still hip hop. I think he's just warming us up. I think he's getting ready to come out with an album with bars, and it's gonna come out. We wasn't expecting it, and it's gonna chart top just like the Flute album. He's just like testing the waters. And besides that, I think him and Killer Mike, they're like nominated for Grammys and stuff. So, I think y'all should give it a try, but meditate to it. Don't listen to it looking for anything other than to release and relax and let go a little bit. Yeah. Okay. What else? What else before we get into our conversation? So, okay, I had to mention this. I'm just speaking on a couple, trending topics. I don't do a whole lot of celebrity gossip, but there's some things, there's lessons to be found in everything. Okay, so I got to talk a little bit about Diddy, and all the allegations that have come out about him recently. Listen, there's so much that's being said about Diddy. There are so many people that are coming out and speaking out, not just these women, but there's bodyguards and assistants, and it's just a lot. There's a lot of companies that are removing themselves and their association and affiliation with them. He stepped down from Revolt. There's about 18 companies in all so far that I think have stepped away from him in business dealings with him. And so on the surface, it may look like, this is just another black man being, taken down or what have you. But if you know Diddy and his history, and if you grew up in that area hip hop like I did, you know that everybody ain't lying, okay, on Diddy, okay. And he's had a lot of bad business dealings, and nobody made money with him. Nobody touched a million working under Diddy. Maybe Mary, but she had to get away, you know, from him to do that. But nobody that was like under his wings. It's not like Jay where he done made people into billionaires, Kanye and Rihanna. And nobody touched a million. He made all that money for himself. And so I don't think this is just a matter of some women out to money grab. I think this is karma. In the world we say karma. You may say that you reap what you sow. I just think this is karma coming to bite Diddy. And it's been coming for some time, and now it's his time. He's being exposed. Um, he getting ready to dish out a lot of money. So I think it teaches us something that it matters how we treat people. It matters how we treat people. Sometimes money can spiritually, the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's not having money that's evil. It's just the love of it and the desire to always go after it. And with it comes power, and sometimes comes arrogance, and so I just think this is a humbling experience for Diddy. And you know we'll see. We'll see what all comes out of all of this. I didn't understand what you were saying, Ty. You said was him and Jay-Z both? Was him and Jay-Z both what, bro? Was him and Jay-Z both what? um I know. So yeah, I just think it teaches us about being humble. No matter how much money you got, God can take it away at the drop of a dime. You got to be careful how you treat folks. It's good to treat folks right, because it come back on you at some point if you don't treat them right. Okay. Oh, I don't know about that, Ty. I don't know if he was. I wouldn't put it past. That's all I'm gonna say. I wouldn't put it past. But that was 90s hip hop. I'm not making excuses for it, but it was the norm back then, right? Like a lot of brothers complain about well, at least what I've seen, especially when all the R. Kelly stuff came out. They were talking about how in high school it was a bunch of fast ass girls going with all the older guys. They had grown men coming up to the school picking them up. I just think that was a norm. And when we were younger, we didn't see anything wrong with it. And it was the norm in that era of hip hop. So, you know, Willie said humbling. Nah, Diddy the Black Weinstein. What you mean by that? What you mean by that, Willie? You think he's still gonna be making millions behind the scene, even though all these people pulling out? He might, you know, he might. He might. Okay, listen. I don't. I want to get down to business. Okay. So I'm getting ready to bring these two brothers up. Let me tell you, let me set some ground rules first of all. Okay. So I brought two brothers on that we're gonna have some conversation and just some barbershop talk, like right. So we're gonna get into a few different topics about manhood and black manhood and hearing their perspective. And I do this for a couple different reasons. One, because mostly my platform is female centered. Y'all know I ride for my ladies. I'm going to continue to ride for my ladies. I'm what you would call a womanist, which I feel is different from a feminist. It just means that I'm about ladies and feeling empowered and having their voice. And that doesn't mean you have to disrespect men or be angry against men or whatever to be able to do that. Okay. So I'm a womanist at heart. But sometimes I feel like we as ladies, sometimes we have to hear a man's perspective. Okay. When I first started doing this podcasting thing, one of the first things that I learned very early on is that in social media, my social media is just Facebook, and I may go over to Instagram, you know what I'm saying? But I never really got into YouTubing and stuff like that. The more I got into podcasting and understanding and just like kind of researching what's out there, what are people talking about, what captures an audience's attention, the more that I learn about all of the gender wars, especially as it relates to our community. There is a lot of back and forth between Black men, Black women. We don't trust one another. The younger generation, younger than me, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm from Generation X. I'm 46. My lifestyle is, I'm not in the dating world anymore. I'm locked down and all that. So a lot of what I feel and think comes from the generation that I was raised in, and then also where my life is now. But I always saw, I ain't old, nigga. I'm not old. I'm getting better with time, Ty. Okay. Don't call your friend old. I'm getting better with time. But a lot of what I see is just a whole bunch of back and forth about various topics. And so I think every now and then it is important to bring other perspectives, other voices. Okay. So tonight we may not agree. Okay. I may have some ladies out there checking in. You may not agree with what the brothers say, but we're going to talk about it. We are going to agree not to disagree. I have told the fellas to be as open, as raw, as whatever they want to be on this evening. I have also shared with them that we're gonna have some ladies that's gonna be in the comments. There were some brothers that was interested in this topic on tonight, so we may have some other brothers checking in the comments, and they want to share their thoughts and opinions. So we're gonna just let the conversation flow on tonight. Whatever way it blows, it blows. But I do have, some things that I want to make sure that we touch on, and so I want to welcome to the stage my guy Mac and John G. Now I know these brothers personally. I've had some personal relationship with them in terms of going to school with them, and so I know that they are very thoughtful. They're gonna tell it like it is, and so I want y'all to welcome to the stage Mac and John G. What is up, brothers? What is up?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, young lady, how you doing?
Good, good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank y'all for agreeing for this conversation. Okay. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to get it popping and telling the people what y'all feel and what y'all think on this evening from a man's perspective, a Black man's perspective.
Absolutely. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Absolutely, absolutely. So here's what I wanna go first. So one, um do you all agree that these discussions are important? I want to start there. I want to hear your thoughts on why you feel like these type of conversations, where it's Black women, Black men getting together, having some discussion. Why do y'all feel that these discussions are important? Or do y'all feel? I guess I should say.
Go go ahead, Matt.
Okay. Well, they definitely are important. Um, because I don't know why the media is trying to push that we should be against each other. Um, I don't know about every man, but I think I speak for most men that we can't do it without each other.
Right,
I can't do it without her. Um, I hope she can't do it without me, because if she can do it without me, that means I'm not in her life. Um,
right.
so I definitely see the agenda of what they got going on, but like I said, I can't speak for all, but I think I speak for most Black men. We need y'all.
Okay.
We need y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all give us the strength to keep fighting this fight called life. Y'all motivate us. Y'all tell us when, you know what I'm saying, when the world didn't beat us down. then handled us, mishandled us, and everything. Y'all the ones that tell us, babe, it's gonna be okay. Go back out
Okay,
there and get them.
you starting off good. You starting off right.
I got a queen.
That's right. That's right. So I do got to share for those who are checking in that the men on this evening are going to give us not just a man's perspective, but also a married man's perspective. Okay. So I think in the past when I have done this, I've had single men, and y'all are both married men. I know, Mac, we've had conversation. You said you could give both perspectives because you were single longer than you were married, so you're able to give both perspectives. So that's good.
Absolutely.
But I think we like how you starting off because yes, y'all absolutely need us. What do you say, John?
Yeah, well, first of all, y'all forgive me for the lighting situation. I done snuck off the gig number 2, so it don't get no realer than that. But
Hey,
on the topic, man, yeah, you gotta have these conversations. How can you have a solution with no conversation?
that's right.
And that might be part of the problem is how we're communicating.
Yeah.
Everybody communicates differently. Everybody receives things differently. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's like I might not receive things like other people receive things. I like
Yeah.
to uplift when I have
That's right.
conversations. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we can talk and talk and talk about it, but what's the solution? How
That's
can
right.
we take a step forward? You know what I mean? If
That's
we're
right.
blaming women for everything and women are blaming men for everything, where's the solution? You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So we got to have some kind of solution going towards that dialect.
Absolutely. It can't just be all rhetoric and hate towards one another. I do agree. We need each other, right? And so part of this discussion is just kind of understanding. Listen, again, I want y'all to be as real, as open, as honest as y'all think and feel as it relates to um, some of the conversation. So I want to start here for both of you, and whomever wants to start off. We often see or at least what I observed, okay, in as delving into this podcasting, whereas a lot of men, black men in particular, talk about how manhood is under attack, okay, is what is pushed out, the agendas that are pushed out, what we see in media, what we see in social media, what we see on TV, that often it feels as if y'all's manhood is under attack one way or another. So my question, just to start off, and ladies, if you have questions, you have thoughts, you want to put something out there, as Mac and John are just sharing, please feel free to put it in the chat so that I can know that you're engaged and you're part of the conversation. I'm watching the chat and talking at the same time, but um, manhood is under attack. Do you feel that is the case from your perspective, Mac?
Absolutely. Manhood is definitely under attack. I also got a social media platform as well on Twitter, and well as you have women telling us to be more, have more empathy as far as how they feel, or getting more in touch with their feminine side. The same woman that's telling me that will see my Caucasian counterpart doing something manly, like chopping wood or changing a tire, and they're applauding him, but you're attacking my masculinity. I got a problem with that.
Okay.
I got an absolute problem with that because I'm I'm old school.
Okay.
I believe in providing, protecting,
Hmm.
and you know I believe in that. And if I believe in that, that takes a certain kind of man to do it.
That's
It don't take a feminine man to do it.
Nope.
No knock on any man that's in touch with his feminine side, but from my aspect of it, you can't be feminine doing what I need to do to take care of what I need to take care of. I need to take a hold of my masculinity and hold on to it.
so. Do you feel that it's under attack because you said you're old school. Do you feel it's under attack because women are asking you to show emotion, or
It, like I said, it seems like whereas they're telling me to show a feminine side, like I said, the same women to turn around and, like I said, see my Caucasian counterpart doing something manly, embracing his masculinity, and they're applauding him. I'm talking about standing applause.
mm-hmm.
And when I embrace my masculinity, oh, that's toxic masculinity.
Okay,
Toxic, toxic masculinity is what your granddad had. And
okay,
guess what? Your granddad and your grandmama was together for 40, 45, 50 years.
okay,
And guess what? They're the reason why y'all are here.
okay.
So embrace that manhood. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't nobody be cruel to each other. Shouldn't nobody mistreat each other. But let a man be a man just like we let women be women.
Okay, so you said so. Okay, so I want to clarify. So you said that our grandfathers, that was the picture of masculinity. Um, and but how is masculinity defined? Is it just being a provider? Is it going to work every day, taking care of the home? Um, are there also elements to, because if we keeping it real, some of our granddaddies and grandfathers had 2 and 3 families. Okay, so is that allowed in masculinity? Is that the picture of masculinity? Because that's
Uh,
that is some of the concern that I see from ladies in particular, um, when they try to attack masculinity, that having multiple women is not a form of masculinity per se, or complaining about us as women is not a form of masculinities.
I agree with that. Having multiple women is not a form of masculinity, but when it's such a lack of it, when other women see it, they yearn for it, they desire it. So if they yearn for it and they desire it, you know, they will try to cling to it. And as men, we are not perfect beings. The last perfect being I know last name is Christ that walked this earth. So because
Right.
we're not perfect beings, you know, we may fall short. Falling short means, you know, uh infidelity,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Um, stepping out. But the thing is, you know what I'm saying, if you know what you have at home, you know if you got a good woman at home and everything, you try your best not to do that. Um, with our grandfathers, like I said, they weren't perfect men, but they were men.
Yeah.
At
So
the end of the day,
I'm sorry. So Tamara, because I want to make sure this thoughts get out of this. So Tamara saying, what you're saying is how she's interpret what you're saying is that pretty much allowing you all to do what you want to do as long as you're taking care of home. Is that your definition of masculine? Because I would beg to say that even though we saw manhood in our grandfathers and our fathers, that some of that was toxic too, right? Like when you have the, like Ty said, you got two families, one job, and that, that's you taking care of 2 families on one job. A lot of that happened in our, if we just keep it real, a lot of that happened in our culture. So I think a lot of women, when they see toxic masculinity, that's what they're describing. That kind of attitude. Going back to Tammy just saying, so what are you saying? Just allowing you to do what you do as long as you're taking care of home. That's not what you're sharing with with us, are you?
no, that's not what I'm saying. Not allowing us to do what we want to do. The thing is this, we're not tamed, but we're respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, you know what I'm saying? Could I do this? Yeah. Should I do this? Probably not. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we all fall short. We
Mm-hmm.
all fall short. And you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make me a bad person. I fell short. I made a mistake. Um, Hopefully, I can be forgiven. If I can't, you know what I'm saying. We can go our separate ways because at the end of the day, if I ever call myself loving you, I want to see you happy, even if you're not with me, and
Okay.
we can't reconcile. But
Okay.
um, doing what you want to do, nah. Um, some men can do what they want to do, but some men are so set on being disciplined that they can like not go for the temptations.
Okay.
Some can, some can't.
So
You
okay.
know what I'm saying? It take all kind, but nah, it doesn't mean do what you want to do.
Okay. So what's your perspective, John? Is manhood under attack? Do you agree with Matt? What are your thoughts? Do you feel like manhood, particularly black manhood, is under attack?
So I'm gonna drop some fire. You ready? I'm gonna take
Drop
off
some
my
fire.
glasses. I'm gonna take off my glasses so I can look sexy in the camera.
Okay. Okay, with
So
the coat hat on.
so to go a little bit deeper with it, I think the attack on uh masculinity, especially black men, is done purposely. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
For years and years and years, they've have been scared of the black man. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's just a fact. You walk in a place of business. You walk into, you don't have to walk in nowhere. You could be in the neighborhood where you live in, an apartment where you live in. Do you live here? You know, they're scared of the black man. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, what better way to destroy the black man than to tear down his masculinity? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Put all this other stuff out here in the world and say, oh, it's cool to, you're a highly respected actor. Put this dress on. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's done purposely. You know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
hear about it all the time. We've heard Dave Chappelle talk about it. We heard other people talk about it. It's something that's done purposely. Now,
Yeah.
I believe that true masculinity is standing on your principles.
Stand
Like
on.
Max said, nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. But I believe true masculinity is standing on your principles. A lot of times, women out here, they want this alpha male and they don't
Okay.
know what this alpha male is. They
Okay.
think somebody who comes in a room and controls the room and talks loud and gives you good eye contact and da da da. Well, he's the man. You know, they don't understand that true masculinity is standing on their principles. Right now, I'm at my second gig. You trying to get this money because I have to provide. I
Right.
have to stand on principle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, and I don't care how loud the next man talk, how much eye contact the next man gives. He puts on his pants just like I do. He's not a better man than me. You know what I mean? So I have
Right.
to have confidence in myself, and I have to stand on my principles, which is true masculinity. You know, having this many women or that many women. If you're that true masculinity comes in strength and being able to do right when it's easy to do wrong. She's fine. She's trying to get at me. I could get her right now, but that's not what I'm about because I'm married.
Right.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
true masculinity, standing on your principles. And I believe that the masculinity is being attacked, especially by the African American man.
So do you think we as black women are sometimes proponents of that? This I'm just sharing what I've seen, what I've observed, what comments that I've heard being made by men in particular, that they feel that we often as black women that we perpetuate the emasculation of men. What are
Okay,
your
Yes,
can I?
yes, most definitely. And I think it's because maybe a lot of times because of the experiences that they've had.
Yeah,
You know
we
what I
yeah,
mean?
we've had some crazy experiences.
Right. If you run through enough F boys, you may not know how to deal with a real one when you get a real one. You know what I mean? So you have to have that real one. Like your husband, he's a real one. You have to have a
Absolutely.
real one to come into your life and say, "Hey, listen, this is what's gonna happen." First of all, we don't argue in front of the kids. Ooh, you lay down ground rules and you let this is my
Or maybe it's
this is what's
mine.
going on. I'm a man. I need you to follow me.
Jump in there, Matt. What are you saying? I feel like you
Um,
itching in.
like he was just saying, um, it's they take different aspects of trying to attack black manhood.
Mm-hmm.
Their old format was like if you lived in a housing project, the
Mm-hmm.
man can't live in the house. We'll give you housing, we'll give you assistance, but the man can't live in that house.
Mm-hmm.
When they turned around and see they couldn't get it from that angle, they said, okay, that angle didn't work. Let's
Mm-hmm.
try this angle. Let's give the women the jobs. Let's give the women the high paying jobs. Let's make the women the breadwinner. So if we make the women the breadwinner, the woman's gonna turn around and say, I don't need you. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need you. I get the coin. I get the bag. But I said it in a post. I said if we break it down even to beast, if we turn around and look at lioness, lioness go and do the hunting.
They
They go to
do.
do the hunting. They go and get the gazelle. They take that gazelle down. The gazelle represents the bag. The lioness get that gazelle. It's hers. She did the work. She did the due diligence. It's hers.
Mm-hmm.
But if a lion don't come along and love her for her and respect her for her, he can turn around and manipulate her. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? That gazelle is his and that lioness is his. Meaning, this woman can turn around and she can get the bag. She can go get her coin and turn around and say, I don't need no man. But if a man comes along that doesn't respect her heart, that doesn't respect her mind, he'll turn around, get her, finesse her, manipulate her, and now guess what? Her coin, her bag, and her belongs to him.
Okay. I hear you. So my girl McCoy said I'm lost because y'all are addressing the social aspect. Um, I hear what you just said, and I'm gonna give you what I'm gonna just give you what a lot of I feel from a female perspective. Sometimes when that line of thinking is put out there that, and I'm addressing the part where you said, Mac, where you said that taking the man out of the home and empowering women to pretty much be single mothers, single in the home without a man in the home. I agree with that. That did happen. So I agree also, John, with you saying that the manhood is under attack, and it's happened in the media, but it's also happened systemically. What I feel like some of y'all miss, and y'all let me know, if you agree. Some of y'all
Okay.
miss that we were as black women, we were subjected to the same system. Okay. So while y'all was, and I use like I mean I could use any era. I could use the Vietnam War area. But I'm gonna bring it to us because we from the 90s. So the 90s brought about what? What did we live through in the 90s? As teenagers: crack, drugs, gang violence. And so, because our communities were dilapidated, y'all know where we grew up, Gary, our communities was dilapidated. We are a part of the same struggle. It's the same struggle, we were just impacted differently. So while they were taking y'all out of the home, um, yes, part of it was conditioning us to be strong, to survive by ourselves, but it was still just as much an attack on us as it was on black men. It was just from different angles. And so I think a lot of times when we have these conversations, um, black women are made to be the blame for, because we're educated, because we got good ass jobs now, because and a lot of we're starting businesses at a record rate, and we're breaking ceiling glasses. So a lot of times we're blamed for that without acknowledging that yes, it was by design, but it's the same. It was the same attack, just in different ways. That's the only thing I think that's often missed from that conversation.
Okay. I
Agree?
agree.
Don't agree?
I agree. Yes.
Okay, so John, you were so I want to get back this, and then we can switch topics. But how so? Desmond said, I want to go back to this comment because he said women want us to be more emotional. They want men to be more sensitive, and y'all not built that way. So how else do you feel like we, just to help us understand, may have contributed to the emasculation of black men, or the attack on manhood? Is it just because we want y'all to be more sensitive?
Well, I want to start off with since we was talking about Andre 3000 earlier. Andre 3000 did a line, and he said, "In the land where a man is determined by how much a man makes." So
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing that's looked at. Can you provide? And if you're not providing the way the female thinks you should be providing, it's a problem. Um, Another thing, as far as what you were talking about, how uh, they were, um, put in a certain situation just as we were. That's
Mm-hmm.
the truth. When they got the more money and the jobs that was made of it. The thing is, it was something that should not have been looked down on. It's something that should have been celebrated. You know what I mean? And the reason it should have been celebrated is because other cultures do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You've got the wife that's a lawyer and the husband that's a doctor, and he says, you know what? I'm gonna stay home and take care of the kids so you can pursue your career. And it's like, why can't we do that? You know what I mean? But we've
Mm-hmm.
been separated, for a reason. And, like I was talking about true masculinity, somebody said something about they want us to show emotion. You have to be secure with your masculinity, I believe, to show emotion. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
women are not used to seeing their men show that emotion. I just had a friend of mine, a close friend, pass away. Well, at the same time, I was at uh, a funeral with my wife for one of her friend's sons who got murdered. So I had to go with my wife and show her that support. But at the same time, I stepped out and I went in the hallway. There's a train coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to step away and I had to do my crying on my own to get that out for my sanity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or I had to cry in the shower and she says, well, where were you? I was looking for you. I said, I was crying. She was like, well, I just had a friend that passed away too. So I had to let my emotions out. Because
Mm-hmm.
how am I going to be there for you if I'm emotionally unstable? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we're taught as men not to do that, but that's healthy to let those emotions out
Yeah.
so we can be there for everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're definitely going to get to that too, of how men were culturized, right? Taught not to let emotions out. And I do think that there's a segment of women. It's unfair having this conversation, because I think most times when we see the back and forth, the gender wars, so on and so forth, it's in the younger generations, because they were raised by single mothers, men and young women, so they didn't have examples of men in the home. So if they see a man show emotions, a young woman, the first thing she want to say is he's sassy. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. And it's just because they weren't taught that men too can have emotions. So some of it, I think, is generational, as well. Some of the attack on masculinity, so on and so forth, I think honestly is generational. Some of that is.
I mean,
Some of
we're
it could be
taught,
generational, some of it could be ignorance.
Yeah.
and then we, as young black men, we're taught not to show emotion. You would call it you. It could be something that physically hurt us. Oh, that didn't hurt you. Quit crying. Or it could be something emotional, something that moves us to tears.
Mhm.
And they turn around and they demonize it. So then we turn around and be like, nah, I shouldn't be crying. But like you said, that's unhealthy. That's
Mhm.
unhealthy. And all black men do is take our emotions and bottle them up and bottle them up. And then it ain't gonna do nothing but be like a kettle bomb. It's
Yeah.
gonna explode, and 9 times out of 10, it's always at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know,
No
so
doubt.
what you call it. We have to be. Something should move us to tears every day. If it's an act of kindness, if it's an act of reminiscing on like a friend or a time that like I said moved you to tears, that made you sad, get
Yeah.
it out, because if you get it out, it's not bottled up.
Yeah. Desmond says, will they think we're weak? Is I know you guys are older now, so more mature. So you probably did you grow into this feeling that it's okay to show emotion?
We
Um,
de- we we definitely grew into it.
yeah.
Uh, we definitely grew into it. My father passed away in '88, and you know, I was hurt by it, and I felt a certain kind of way toward my mom about it, but because she didn't let me talk to him, but she was only thing she was doing was shielding me because he was very ill,
Mm-hmm.
and she shielded me from talking to him, and what I'm saying, hearing the weakness in his voice, and he ended up passing, and I kind of had animosity toward her for that, but she wasn't doing nothing but being a good mom, shielding me away from that.
Yeah.
Because, but when it hit his head was when I was off to college. When I seen my mom making miracles happen to
Oh yeah.
support me in college, and what I'm saying, I turned around, and when I saw that, I was like, because until I went to college, I wouldn't say I love you. I knew I would love her, but I wouldn't say it out loud. But when I saw her making miracles happen for me
Yeah.
when I went off to college, like miracles, I turned around and I was like, Mom, like, I love you.
Yeah.
And I realized I was looking like, I've never said that out loud. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking like, but when I was able to do that with my mom, I was able to express when I did have feelings of loving. I was able to express that to my better half at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it was until then. But yeah, we're taught to like suppress our emotions and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tam says, I agree with you, John G. Men have to let their emotions out. Desmond acting silly in the in the comments says he's crying now. And Terry says, providing protection and leading, that's masculine. And being able to show your emotions too. I think though what I see a lot of times too, and again, this can be completely generational, is that there are so many and we're gonna move into like the state of black relationships. So I'm a move into this comment. There are so many men, young black men who I don't want to say is whining, but sometimes it looks like it on social media where there's all of this back and forth involved in the black back and forth, but they're like I'd be like, is it that bad out here for men in the way that I see them complain about women, not wanting to give and take. They hear providing and all they think about is money. So is it that bad out here, I guess I should say, in the dating area? Mac, you said
Uh,
you were dating longer than you've been married. So was it that
uh,
bad out here before you found your queen?
uh, well, not for me.
Oh,
Not for me.
oh,
What
you ain't have a hard time.
I didn't. I ain't
Yeah.
even gonna hold you up. I did not. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, the women that I would pursue or the women that would catch my interest, they had an idea of who I was. They had an idea of what kind of guy I was, and um they knew certain things they could and couldn't get away with me. Um,
Get
but
away,
it's
get away with.
yeah, I mean, just I've I've turned around and heard nonsense. I've turned around and heard women. I've turned around and heard a guy say, "Yeah, my old lady went to go, get her lashes done, and she said it was gonna take 5.5 hours." I said, "Work on yourself, King. Just yeah, work on yourself,
Wait,
man,
God,
because
God.
yeah, nah, I'm not. No, they knew they couldn't piss on my head and tell me it was rain. That's
Oh,
my thing. You know, but as what I'm saying, as far as like being a man, like women know a real man when they see a real man,
I
and
believe
There
that.
you go.
women know a fuck boy when they see a fuck boy.
They
Pardon
should.
my friend.
What
Pardon
you
my
gonna say,
French.
John? They should, absolutely.
Yeah, pardon my French, but
No,
like like
no,
uh
don't say that at
like
all.
like like T. Robinson said though, if you know provide, protect, and provide for your old lady, I mean, she should respect what kind of man you are. And then on top of that, on the other side, we respect what kind of women y'all are. You know what I'm saying? We see women go out and make miracles happen and everything, and you're supposed to be supportive for her, just like she's supportive to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what T Rob saying. He's saying no, they don't. But what was you gonna say, John? I heard you want to jump in there.
Uh, yeah, excuse me. It all depends on the kind of person you are. We've all seen the women get used. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
By the f boy. And whether it be because of their experiences or whether it be in ignorance or naivety, it happens. But like Max says, a lot of times the real one, when a real one see a real one, they know.
Mhm.
And I've been in situations before I've been married to where the women were like, "Where have you been? And how come my last one didn't do this? And this is the little things, you know what I'm saying? Little things."
Mhm.
And it's a lot of times it's the way we were brought up. I had one. It was wintertime, East Chicago, where she lived. And a thing that I used to do in the wintertime, I would go by all my elders' cribs and shovel their driveways and whatnot, or at least
Uh-huh.
they walkways. So I said, well, while I'm out, let me hit hers. And I shoveled her car because how those snow plows will plow your car in, you
Right.
know. So I shoveled her stuff out. She said, well, where you at? I said, I'm outside your crib. I'm, shoveling your car out. She couldn't believe it because nobody
Oh
had
yeah,
never
that was
did
it. Right,
anything
you
like
sealed the
that.
deal right there, John.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, or the other day I'm at work and I was on the elevator and I held the door and I told the lady, go ahead. And she said, you know what? Nobody has ever held the elevator for me and let me go first before. And I'm like, really? So it's like, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? But the real ones are out there. And it's just, it starts from the adults, it
Yeah,
starts from the adults. And that's, I think a lot of the times we blame what these kids are messed up is because us adults are, you got some F boy adults running around,
yes. You got some
when
fuck
I,
boy
I used
40 year
to,
olds.
yeah, I used to tell those little girls when I used to work with the little girls. First thing I used to do was always make sure my hygiene was good. I said, Mr. John, you smell so good. I said, baby, that's hygiene. When you become an adult, you gotta watch out for your hygiene. Or when we go somewhere and we go in the door, I said, y'all come back outside. Come back outside. I said, now
Right.
y'all tell me what y'all did wrong. They would have no idea. I said, you're walking with a man. You let me open that door for y'all. I said, you running behind these snotty little boys. Nobody got no manners. If they don't have no manners, y'all have to teach them. You stand there and wait for that boy to open that door for you. And I
Right.
think that's where we've become lost. And that's
Right.
how we got F boys and F girls because nobody's teaching nobody nothing.
That's right. We're not. It is up to us, right? So T. Rob said they don't know F boys. They attracted to them. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you. So I'll say this. I will say when you're younger, when you're a younger woman, you're more naive. If you grew up how I grew up in the hood, then what you saw, I'm not gonna say everybody was fuckboys, okay? But what you saw was a certain lifestyle, drug dealing, so on and so forth. And so sometimes when you're young, before you get wiser and understand that those kind of young men, whatever, don't lead to anything of substance. You may have had attraction to the bad boy, okay, when you were younger. But then you get older, when you know better, you do better, right? So I can't speak for no grown ass women that still like fuck boys. You know, I can't speak for them. But T Rob says they don't know him. They attracted to him. Listen, I'm gonna also say this: fuck boys ain't. So there's different definitions of fuck boys. Sometimes we
It
think it's
is.
the one
It is.
that's ripping, running the street. Some of the ones that go to work every day and make money is still F boys. So T Rob says, I know men our age still needing to drive chicks' cars and move in with them. Yeah, now that's sad.
Oh wow.
Now, yeah. That's sad.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Hey, at the end of the day, as a man, when John said when he brought up culturally,
yeah,
um, as a man, my goal is to be like culturally. If I went for a goal, I want to be Poppy. I want to be the Mexican grandfather. At the end of the day, because at the end of the day, Poppy is the son. When I say the son, he's the son. Like literally, what you call it? If they have a family function, everybody goes to Poppy. When little
right.
girls, when girls have their kids, they bring Poppy over there for Poppy to kiss the kid. If if they met a little guy, they bring the guy over there for Poppy to be them for his approval.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when the relatives come over, they come over and speak to Poppy before they do anything. Before they have a shot of tequila, before they hit the pinata, and before they do anything, they go and talk to Poppy. They go and be in Poppy's face. They go to seek Poppy's approval. At the end of the day, that's my goal.
To be the
I need to
anchor
be
of your family.
I need to be the anchor of my family. I need to be Poppy. Everybody comes to me because everybody knows I make this shit move. I make this shit rotate. And that's real.
Okay.
If it ain't like that, it's not appropriate. It's
It's not
uncivilized if it's not like that.
okay. So you
Because
want to be
you
the
know why?
legacy of your family.
Because at the end of the day, like T Rob said, I produce, I provide, I protect. At the end of the day, I do all three. So if I do all three, honor me as such.
Okay. Ladies, listen, what do y'all say to that? Y'all quiet in the chat. I got the brothers talking and giving comments. And I got a few sisters that didn't checked in, but listen, I need y'all to respond to my brothers. Are they saying something that you agree with, you don't agree with, so on and so forth? Max said he wants to be Poppy. Okay. He want to be the Don DeLeon. Of course, T Rob agrees and says 100, Mac. I'ma just say, obviously, you want to leave a legacy. You want to be the patriarch of your family. You want to be a rock of the family, right? That's good. That's your goal.
Ab-
That's to you. That's masculinity.
Absolutely, absolutely.
T. Rob said, and providing is just not providing money. Yes,
No, it's not.
True, true.
protecting is not just protecting physically either. Okay, so ladies need to be protected emotionally, mentally. You know, it's not just protecting her from somebody, grabbing her. It's not just a physical thing with us. When we say we want to be protected.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Um.
this leading into this is my other question. So, what do you think about the state of, again, we're from another generation. So I always say that our generation is like the last of the traditional generation. So what do you think about the state of Black love relationships now? Like what you see, what you observe, where are we going wrong?
Um, uh, as far as like black love now, like you have I see again, like I said, I'm on Twitter, so I see other aspects of how people think. I seen a young lady said, if a man doesn't make six figures, she wouldn't fix his plate. I said, wait a minute, what? What?
You know that fixing plate is a hot topic.
Wait a minute, but wait, I gotta make 100,000 for you to fix my plate. But trust me, if I don't make 100,000, if I make 90,000, if I make 80,000, if I make 85,000, you may not fix it. Your girlfriend will, though.
What you say to that, John? You shaking your head. Do you agree?
Most
Obviously.
definitely, most definitely. You know, Mac is right on that, and I don't want to say that we're at a downslide because times do change, but I want to believe that black love is still real and still thriving out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like each side has to stand up. These men has to stand up,
Yeah.
and these
Absolutely.
women have to let them stand up. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, my grandparents, my grandfather was a very quiet man. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
my grandmother was very outspoken. So as a
Mhm.
child, I didn't know, and they was married for God knows how many years before they passed away. But she was very outspoken. You know what I mean? So as a child, I didn't know who ran the household, who was in charge. I didn't know. All I know is what grandma say goes. His granddaddy never said nothing.
Right.
So one day in the fourth grade, one of my friends called. So she answered the phone and she was like, "Who is this? You don't speak to John? What you calling John for?" Like she wasn't used to kids, and that was part of education, learning your phone number, and you da, da, da.
Mhm.
She wasn't from that world.
Mhm.
So when my grandfather saw that, he saw it as rude. He was like, "Give him the phone." She's like, "Well, I'm trying to see." He said, I said, "Give him the phone. Don't say another word. Give him the phone." And she stomped upstairs and didn't say nothing else. And that's when I realized who the head of the household was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we have to get back to that to a certain extent and have to know what our roles are. You know what I'm saying? If the
Yeah.
man is the head and he's the captain, the woman has to be the co-captain. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's nothing wrong with letting her drive that bus or drive that plane if you're not able to do it. That's what she's supposed to do. She's
That's
supposed to
right.
have your back. You know what I'm saying? But at the same
Right.
time, men have to learn that it's not a dictatorship, it's a partnership.
It's
It's
a
a
I even
partnership.
had to learn that to where I couldn't just make decisions because I'm the man of the house. I got to say, baby, what do you think about so and so? Because if I didn't, it was seen as inconsiderate because I'm not looking for her point of view. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So we got to start looking at things at the right way,
Yeah.
communicating the right way, and loving the right way. And I think black love is still alive, but we got to keep at it because if we don't keep at it and have these conversations, it will falter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think I think because we talked about traditionalism and has it escaped, or traditional relationships are dead in 2023. I think there is value to some traditionalism, but again, I'm biased. I'm speaking from my perspective because my marriage is very traditional in a lot of ways, but I'm probably like your grandmother, John. I'm more outspoken, I'm more social, what have you. And my husband is more, he's laid back. He'll be on Facebook, but he ain't a big Facebook person. So he's a very laid back person. But at the end of the day, I know that I respect my husband as the head of the house, the man of the house, so on and so forth. And so I think where it gets crossed, the signals get crossed with some of the younger generation, is that they don't understand um that certain acts of femininity is okay. And that like fixing a plate, because T Rob says, why wouldn't a woman want to fix a plate but they'll still fix their son's plate? They don't always understand that feminine prowess gets you a lot, right? Like
and I want
it goes a long way.
I
And
want
so
to I want to
wires get crossed, and we see those some of those acts as subservient as opposed to spoiled wife for a reason. You get the spoiled wife life for a reason. What are you gonna say, Matt? Go ahead.
I want to add on to that. I do my part to support Black love
Mm-hmm.
because I do have a Black queen. Um, I respect Black women, and like I said, I do my part because I was in the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
A youngster came in the barbershop. Youngster said, because it's barbershop, it's men, it's nothing but men. So
Right.
we speaking freely, we speaking, as men. He said, I don't mess with nothing but snow bunnies and Latinas and this and that and that and this. And when I say I did my part, I turned around and told him this. I said, okay. You said you don't mess around with nothing but Latinas and snow bunnies. You said everything but what you said, everything. I said, but I'm gonna ask you a question. I said, how many times have that Latina invited you to a family function? He got to thinking. Then he got to rubbing his chin. Then he got to looking up. He said, bro.
Not
He
one.
said, not one. I said, you know why? I said, you a dirty little secret. I
Why?
said, at the end of the day, you a dirty little secret, bro. I said, because the thing is this, she gonna give it to you out of both pants legs. She gonna give it to you like it's gonna spoil. I said, but she can't take you around Poppy. She can't take you around Mommy. She can't take you around none of them. With a snow bunny. I said, you saying that, putting them on a pedestal, and it's not them, bro. It's you.
But a
It's
lot of
you.
brothers feel that way
Hold
though.
on.
Like I didn't see
Hold
a
on.
lot of brothers. I mean, you got this whole
Hold,
like passport bros phenomenon. Black women are hard to deal with. They got
hold
an
on. Hold on.
attitude. They just
Hold on.
there's
Let
a
me
lot of
let me get
brothers that
let me get to explaining. So I turned around. I said, "You talking about snow bunnies?" I said, "You they not the prize, bro. You the prize." I said, I said, if Caucasian women haven't showed you anything for physical gratification, they will go to the extremes for physical gratification.
mm-hmm.
I said, at the end of the day, bro, you putting all them on a pedestal, and it's you. It's you, black man. You're the prize. I, s- you know, I hope don't nobody look at this in a vulgar way or anything. I said, but where else they gonna get meat this big? They can't go get it. They can't get it from Jesus. They can't get it from Todd. They can't get it from Calvin Low. They can't get it from that. They gonna get it from Tyrone, who can't read that good, but he's a pipeline fool. At the end of the day, guess what? I said you're the prize, bro. I said, and you neglected our black women, bro. I said, but at the end of the day, our black women is it, because only they can produce kings.
So
They
is
only
it
they.
okay? You got people laugh. So it is of your. I gotta go back to this. It is of your mindset that black men are only attractive to other nationalities of women because of y'all girth.
They no they other
And
like
that
I
makes
said,
y'all the prize. Is pretty much
like
what
I said, no, what you call it? That's one aspect of it of why we're the prize. That's one aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they know we don't back down from nothing. It can be a dire situation. We don't back down. You know what I'm saying? We don't back down. And like I said, that's one aspect of it. But they know the other things that come with being with a black man. But like I said, we turn around and we make them the
You
priority.
make
We make
them.
them. We make no. Black men make other like ethnicities of women the priority, and it shouldn't be
Okay.
the case. It
Okay.
should. At the end of the day, it should always be black. It should always
I
be
feel
black
like
women.
you was trying to give us a compliment, but it went way.
No, guess what? You got lost in the sauce.
Yeah,
That's what
hell
happened.
yeah, I got
But
lost in the song.
but I was just telling the young brother. I said you up there saying that like you saying something. I said, but bro, it's them. It's always been them. It's always been black women, bro. I said because guess what? Only they can make us at full strength. Don't get me wrong. If we produce with another ethnicity, if they have 1/3 of our blood, that makes them black, but they ain't full powered though. Only a
Mm,
black man and a black woman can make them fully powered.
okay, so it goes back to we need each other.
We need each other.
Need each other.
We need each other.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, John? Is what do you feel is the problem with the current state of black relationships?
Uh, I think it's one is communication.
Communication. We got to communicate.
Two is ignorance. Um, we're not we're not teaching each other like we're supposed to, like we said, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and you know, it's just I don't know. Sometimes, man, it starts with that individual person. At a certain time in your life, you know right from wrong. You know your experiences do mold how you are as an adult. But it's at a certain point, you know right and wrong. You know what you have to do in life, and you know what kind of person you want to be. You know, so I think it's up to us as individuals to
Hmm.
be better individuals. Um, I think the state of relationships uh, is kind of bad right now, especially with social media, because
Yeah.
social media is kind of showing us something that's it's like it's showing us the matrix. It's not real, you
It's not
know.
real. Yeah.
And our generation is cool with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, I I I, I
We're
don't know,
looking at the
man.
Krishan rocks and the blue faces and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's breaking us down. You know,
Yeah.
we don't mind you being the biggest freak in the world when you're in the house. You know what I'm saying? But the young ladies have got to a point where it's cool to go out there. I don't know if y'all saw it, but it was a video where the mama, she had on a green dress. I'm assuming they were at a wedding or some kind of function or whatever,
Mhm.
and she was twerking. And I don't know if this is her boyfriend or whoever she was twerking with, but she's twerking. And the son pushed her off and then pushed the guy off, like, and was looking at him like, "What are you doing to my mama?" And the
Mhm.
mama was laughing, but the little boy, little black boy, started crying.
Oh
And
wow.
I felt and I felt more bad. I felt worse for her than I did for him because it's like he knew what was appropriate better than she did, and she the mama. You know what I mean?
Hey
Yeah.
So
John,
how is
hold
he
on.
gonna treat women after seeing how his mama act? You know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
and he's gonna become an adult one day. Now he's in a relationship. Now
Yeah.
he's gonna base that off of what he's seen. And it's sad. And it's like we gotta do better because we go around the world looking like this, and that's how they're judging us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's
And
how they're
John, you
judging us. They judge us.
Yeah.
You know, they even judge us like what Max said. These passport bros or whatever, they go around and they get these other women, and we're treating them good. And now they want a black man. You know what I'm saying? Now they want a black man. But we have to start learning how to love each other. Love your black woman. Love your mama. Love your sister. If you can't love these people, how you gonna love anybody else? You
how you
know?
gonna love anybody else, bro?
Yeah. What,
And they
what,
go back. I see that video, Nima. When I turn around and tell you, the boy was so hurt because he looked at his mom as so high value. He looked at his mom as so high value, and to see her doing that to a man that don't look like him,
mhm.
it broke him. When I say it broke him, it broke him. He seen her in such high value, whereas she should have turned around and said, "My son see me at high value. Let me act the part. Let
Yeah.
me act as such in front of him." You know what I'm saying? She know it was just in leisure. She knew it was just, you know what I'm saying, just, you know what I'm saying, having fun and everything. But
That's
I'm
true.
not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this in front of my son. My son see me in a certain kind of way, in a
Yeah,
certain kind of light,
that's what my
and
son
I'm not gonna do this in
high
front of my
school.
son.
Yeah. So T Rob said that that wasn't real. The video, that was just content. I think it's important to, when we talk about Black relationships or the state of our relationships, we see so much toxicity because that's what goes viral for clicks and for likes. But most of that shit is not real. People are doing videos, into, it may started off, a video, a slip out there and it goes viral. But now people are at the point where they're displaying and showing toxicity just for the
That's
sake of
true.
going viral. And it's not
Yeah,
That's
real.
true.
And so we need to be
That's true.
able to help the young people understand what's real and what's not. Because our young people grew up in social media. That's all they know. So they assume everything out there is real. Alicia
yeah.
said these youngins aren't being shown examples of healthy relationship. They listen to these songs and social media as a reference to how to interact with one another. And I do think, social media is a big
True.
driver
I
for the
agree.
state of where we are. These podcasts, for a while it just seemed like after Kevin Samuels came out, like all these people, all these podcasts with men dogging out women, and we got to hold women accountable, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to say everything was just completely wrong, but
Talk
it just
about it.
would you say, John?
I said, talk about it.
Yeah,
Let's
it
talk
wasn't
about it.
completely wrong.
Yeah.
It was just like there was just this onslaught of men who were trying to follow in his footsteps, and it was just like everywhere you turn is just, to us as women it looks like there's just like a lot of women hating going on, and there's a
But
lot of, blame and
Can I
pointing the
piggyback off
finger
that
at
real
us.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up because I totally agree with you. See, it's nothing wrong with telling, the state of women today. We should hold our women accountable because we expect more from them. But when you go from holding them accountable to putting them down, you know what I mean, or not giving them solutions, or not giving them some encouragement, then what's the
Hmm.
point? You know what I mean? What are
Right.
they
yeah,
gonna get from that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can tell me all day what I'm doing wrong, you know what I'm saying? But help me to move forward. If you're not helping me to move forward, then what's the point? And
Well, let's
everybody
have
was
a
kind of,
conversation where we hear each other. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And
Yeah.
everybody was kind of like his point of view was kind of derogatory to me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I agree with some of the stuff he said because sometimes you need some truth and some realism. But
Hmm.
the other side of the coin, when you start, you know what I'm saying, just derogatory, no encouragement or nothing like that, then where's it gonna lead? You're not helping them none. You're just
Yeah.
building your platform. It seemed like to me.
Yeah, you're perpetuating it. And it's sad to see how we, and Black women included, there was a lot of women who, in combat of the Kevin Samuels and the podcast, so they come out with their own level of toxicity, and nobody's hearing each other, nobody's listening to each other, nobody's thinking in their mind, look, at the end of the day we need each other, because listen, if the war pop off,
yeah,
who they coming after? Us together.
yeah.
So they ain't just gonna
Indeed.
segment Black men, Black women. They coming after us as a whole. So it's just disheartening. And but that is what gets the clicks, the likes. It's what goes viral. It's what how influencers built their platform, is just by attacking each other. And unfortunately, we were the number one perpetuators. And we can say all day long that, media and the white man and so on and so forth is trying to tear us down, but we do more tearing down of each other than anything. What I As it relates to manhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I you with he was more to me, just to me. He was more Kevin Samuel. He was more harsher on men than women, and that's contrary to a lot of people's beliefs. He
Mhm.
was more harsher on men than women because he's like, you know, men, let's be men. When they seeking, when our women are seeking other men to seek out manhood, we at a messed up state. We at a fucked up
That's
state.
true.
When you say other men, like
Like
men,
other races of men. When they
oh
seek out other races of men to seek out manhood,
yeah.
we're not in a good place.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think he has some good points. I think, however, with him, what he capitalized on, what made him go viral, what made him continue to do what he did, is when he started speaking, derogatory towards black women. And unfortunately, as much as we want to say he was hard on men, that was his bread and butter. That's what made him, because he didn't go viral until he started speaking out on us, right? And then it started going viral. And then he said, "Oh wow, I done found this niche. So let me continue to do this." He was entertainment at the end of the day. Let me continue to do this because this is what's going to make me money from YouTube and all over social media, and I'm monetizing and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, yeah. But it started a trickle down effect, right? Like
We did.
we just continue and perpetuated it and continue on in that thread. And so now this is all you see, all you see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we talked a little bit about relationship. Listen, put your comments in the chat if you agree with the brothers. Continue to share your thoughts, your perspective. I want to kind of end because we'll be going into in 90 minutes that we've been on. So I want to get a chance to kind of talk about mental health. And we talked a little bit earlier about men being able to be vulnerable and divulge themselves. From what I see, there is a lot of men who've been traumatized. Whatever that trauma may, whether it's family trauma, being raised by a single mother, so on, past relationships, so on and so forth. It just appears that there's a lot of that in our black men, and they don't seek the resources that they need. Um, in y'all barbershop talk, when if we were to come into the barbershop and it's full of men, do you guys talk about that? Do you guys offer that kind of help, that kind of vulnerability to one another, and do y'all see the importance of that?
Yeah. I definitely do. Um, and like you said, the state of mental health is like at an all time high because, um, well as you didn't see suicide high in our community. Now they're just as high as our counterparts. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's because we haven't learned to express ourselves emotionally properly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, uh, the younger kids today got a word triggering. It's triggering.
Triggering.
Um, I've at a last gathering of the last holiday, Thanksgiving. Um, we was talking about how our parents used to whoop us.
Yeah.
One of the younger ones turned around and said, "I don't want to talk about that. That's that's triggering to me."
Mm-hmm.
And the older ones seemed to not understand where she was coming from. And at first, I didn't also, but then you know, at the end of the day, everybody need an outlet. Everybody need a voice. Everybody need to be heard. So, I turned around and I lent her my hair and I said I said it was triggering to you and it hurt you and I need to lend my ear to you because I never knew you felt like that. I
Mm-hmm.
never knew you felt like that. Well as when our parents disciplined us, when they whooped us, when they did this and that, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the end game of it, the result of it became me being a productive citizen in society.
So you
You
saying
know what I'm
ass
saying?
whoopings ain't bad? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, the ass whoop is not bad. If you don't whoop their ass, they gonna turn around and whoop yours. So with that being said, they not bad. Don't be abusive. I'm not just waking up in the morning thanking God for putting the breath of life into my lungs and just getting the beating ass. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. You what you call it? It's uh, a result and a consequence. You know what I'm saying? If everything don't require an ass whooping. Let's get that out the way.
Right.
There you go.
Everything don't require an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to talk it out. You should be able to do this. You should be able to do that. Some aspects, yeah. Some aspects, not so much. Have dialogue with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because our kids, what I found out about our kids, and I had to say this to a guy on the post. I said, our kids are so powerful. Our kids are so resilient.
Hmm.
They are fearless. Our kids are fearless. If you need an example of what I'm talking about, look at the George Floyd situation. Our kids are fearless. They stood up against the establishment and didn't waver, didn't falter. They
There
stood
was
there with they
right. Yeah.
they stood there with their chest out and they was like, nah, it's fucked up. Y'all know it's fucked up. And guess what? We ain't standing for it no more. Now, with that being said, I know people in our generation that would have been some fetchy catch ass niggas. But
Hmm.
with them being the way they was, I said they resilient
Hmm.
when they're passionate about something. I said, with but that can be a catch 22 because they're so passionate about stuff. Again, they so passionate about things, they can be moved to tears about things. They can be so emotionally invested in things that they don't know how to express it all the time. If they can express their passion in a positive way, that could be a tool that can get them far in life. But if they don't find an outlet to express it in a positive way, it can really hinder and hurt them.
Yeah. So, what ways, John, do you feel that we can create safer spaces for Black men to be able to divulge themselves or to share? Yeah, I'm not feeling okay today because I think I'll just share my perspective. I sometimes wonder, do Black men seek the mental support, the mental health that they need enough? Here's why. Because as women, we have community, right? We have sisterhood, sorority, girlfriends, good girlfriends. And so we can use those as opportunities to share ourselves. Men don't seem to always be able to do that. So, what ways do you think we can create safer spaces for you guys so that you can say, hey, listen, I'm feeling a certain kind of way, or I have triggers. The younger generation has learned the word trigger, but we all have triggers, or we've all experienced some kind of trauma. But it seems to me that you mentioned earlier, Mac, that the suicide rate amongst Black men is higher. Health issues amongst Black men is higher. I mean, mental illness in the Black community is just a thing, a phenomenon, period. Because as a people, we've suffered from trauma. But what ways do you think, John, we can create safer spaces? How can we create safer spaces?
Uh, only from I can only tell you from my own experience. I think one of the problems is we have made being an introvert something that is cool. Like people saying, I don't fuck with everybody. I don't, out of my circle. And it used to be we were a village. You know what I mean? It used to be we were a village. And me personally, I do have a small circle of friends. Even though I like to be in places and conversate and get along with everybody, but I got a small core group of friends that are more like brothers, even sometimes than family. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I also had a side of my family that were close knit. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
think that made me seek out true friendship. And I do get brothers who I can cry on. I can ask a
Hmm.
question to. I can, call and say, hey man, this is going on, blah, blah, blah. And I think we've gotten away from that and we've been learned to internalize everything. No, I don't have to internalize everything because I got brothers. You know what I mean? I got
Yeah.
brothers that I can call on and I can talk and say, hey man, this is what's going on. Or they call me and say, hey man, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I'm on the way. You know what I mean? and
Hmm.
and and also have my wife let her know who's in my small circle. Hey, my man's got something going on. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock at night. I'm about to shoot over there. I'll call you when I get over there. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I'm going. Whatever he need, I got a 6 pack in my pistol. Like whatever you need, bro, I'm here. You not by yourself. Your brother
Right.
might have died. You got another brother. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think we need that. We need that close knit of friendship so we can have that protection. You know what I mean? If you look at other cultures are so close knit where it's
Yeah.
family first. You know what I
The,
mean?
the community. Yeah.
Yeah, they got that community. So if we don't have that community in within our family, we should at least seek out that close friendship where you can say, hey man, you got somebody. I got you, you got me. It's us, bro. We're gonna ride till the wheels fall off, whatever you need. And I think we need to get back to that because like Max says, at some point in time, we have learned to internalize everything. And we have to learn that we don't have to do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We don't have to do that. We don't necessarily have to reach out to a 1-800 number hotline or whatever. We can call Tyrone and say, "Hey man, I need you to come through, man, because I'm really going through it." When
Yeah.
a friend of mine when he passed away, I was just on the phone with guys just shedding tears, and I said, "Bro, let it out, because I'm shedding those same tears." And we need that, and we have to have that because
Yeah.
if we don't have that safe net to where we can have that mental stability, it starts to volcano and it
Yeah.
starts to become something that's destructive because we don't have a positive spiritual outlet for it.
Yeah. Alicia says we have to break the stigma that has been programmed into the black man about vulnerability being weakness. And
Absolutely.
I think that that's so true. Again, like I said, as ladies, we have close knitness, sisterhood, girlfriends, because that's how we socialize as women. Sometimes men don't always have that. And it's important that you guys are able to be vulnerable with each other. And again, as Alicia said, make sure that you're not viewing a man's vulnerability as a weakness. Ebony says, outside of your circle, how do men heal from their hurt and trauma and so forth? Do men advocate therapy? And that was a point. Do you guys advocate for therapy? Because I know, John, you said you don't have to call an 800 number, but isn't there value in seeking you know a professional resource who can help you to unpack the trauma?
I think it's definitely necessary. And like somebody said, we have to break that stigma. It's okay. It's okay. I think we get to the point where the world comes down on you and you feel like, I got to handle this myself. We've got to normalize things like therapy. We have to normalize things like meditation and things like that and spirituality. Steve Harvey said, praying is talking to God.
Hmm.
Meditation is listening to God. And I
Yeah.
think that's something we need to normalize.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you gonna say, Matt?
Um,
How do men heal from their hurt and trauma?
well, with a situation like my situation, I got a lot of brothers. I got 8 brothers. So out of those 8 brothers, I could talk to somebody. Whereas if I was like a only sibling or I was like the only guy, I definitely would seek therapy because like I would definitely seek professional help to like prioritize prioritize what I'm going through. You
Hmm.
know, I made a post on on my Facebook that says people that's depressed, they don't fake being depressed. They fake being okay.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they turn around and put on the persona that I'm okay, I'm fine, but they not fine. They are not okay. So you know what I'm saying? You never know what nobody going through. So
Yeah.
you just be sympathetic to what people going through. You know what I'm saying? Just be humble, just be kind. You know what I'm saying? Especially to the ones in our community,
Yeah.
because like I said, we we we're loved by few. You know what I'm saying? We're loved by few, and if we can't stand up for each other, who's gonna be there to stand for us?
Yeah. I think so at the end of Ebony's question, she said, do men advocate therapy? I will say from the outside looking in, I don't think y'all advocate for therapy enough. I get the stigma. I think for us as a community, historically, when you have said that you were going to see a therapist, it's attached to, oh, you must be crazy, or you have a
Yeah,
mental breakdown, or and then add that on top of men, black men in particular, where going to therapy can be seen as another form of like a attack on manhood, and not the ability not to be able to be vulnerable. So I think for those of us who love black men, who uplift black men, want to see black men do well, I think y'all don't advocate for therapy, professional help enough amongst one another. And I think that there's not enough. What's important for y'all to create safe spaces, that there have to be other men, other black men who are sitting on the other side of the conversation, saying, "Tell me what you're experiencing. Tell me what you're feeling." We don't have enough black male mental health professionals. Of course, we see a lot of black women, but we don't have enough of you guys who are going into that profession. And a lot of what we see, if we connect the dots to some of the questions that I have asked about, manhood being under attack, the state of our relationships, the gender wars against one another, the angst that we have towards one another, a lot of it is attached to our trauma for both black men and black women. A lot of the back and forth between each other is attached to the shit that we've been through, the shit that we experienced. It's not just because, I was young and I liked fuck boys, so that's what I chose. But some of my trauma as a black woman may be what I seen, the abuse I seen in my family. My father abused my mother, or my uncle came and touched me at night, when I was
Mhm.
10, 11. Okay. So that is a common story within the black community. And we talk about that as black women. But what I see is, I don't see enough black men saying that they had some of those same kinds of experiences, and it impacted them in a way. T Rob says you have to find the right therapist for it to work, because they're giving unqualified people licenses because they went to school. Therapy is serious. It is. You
yeah.
gotta have you definitely gotta have the right kind of people. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I say all that to say, I hope that we take opportunities. I hope black men take opportunities to promote that amongst one another. Yes, it's good to have your boys, your guys, your fellas, your brothers, your cousin, your uncle, so on and so forth, and to have that. And I think that's important. But sometimes, a good old professional person that can help you decipher, unpack, is good too, or grief. Sometimes we carry grief. People grieve in different ways. We're at the age now where we're losing parents, and I lost my father when I was young, and so it wasn't until I was like 30 years old that I realized that, shit, I may got some daddy issues going on. And this is the reason why I have made unwise decisions, so on and so forth. And so sometimes I think it is deep with us. Our trauma runs so deep, and it's just important to, to get that shit off of us,
Hmm.
unpack it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 9:18, y'all. It's 9:18. going for almost 2 hours. Any last minute thoughts y'all want to share about tonight? About anything? I'm gonna start with you, John, because I know you at work. You may have to pop off, right? Like you protecting and providing for the family. So, any last minute thoughts? Anything that you want us to any points you want from this entire discussion, you want folks from your perspective to take away about tonight's discussion?
Well, I did like the conversation about the mental health.
Yeah,
It's definitely something that we need to normalize, and just to have these kind of conversations, period. Because like I said, if we don't have the conversations, how are we going to find the solutions? You
right.
can have somebody listen to this podcast right now and say, I never thought about it like that, or I never heard a man say it like that before.
Yeah,
So we gotta have the conversations, and we gotta use these conversations to support each other and uplift each other,
yes,
and we gotta love on each other more, because at the end of the day, the way this country is going, we are all we got. So we
yeah,
gotta each one teach one. We gotta
yeah.
each one teach one. Um, I also want to say I'm proud because my beard is popping tonight. You know what I'm
Listen,
saying? Let the
you
ladies in the
glistening,
comments
John.
talk about my beard is popping. You know what I mean? But I,
It's
hey,
connecting and
but
shit. It's coming up.
yeah, yeah. But Amir, I thank you for having me on, because I
thank,
love your stuff anyway. Period. You know what I'm saying?
thank
Keep
you.
doing it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to check me out, I'm on YouTube at the
Yes,
Real Big John 758.
the real
Not
Big
really
John
much. I'm
758 on YouTube. Go ahead.
on YouTube. Just me doing silly stuff to have my kids and grandkids something to remember me by. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Something to just, I talk about random thoughts and silly stuff. So,
it's
nothing
cool.
too big. You know what I mean? When I want to get down to the nitty gritty, I come on for the lipstick and the high heels. You know what I mean? So, great show. And
Thank you.
uh, I just love it, man. Let's keep doing what we doing. And
Yes,
shout
let's
out to 9-5.
shout out to 95 in the building always. I got some 95ers in the comments already. No, y'all better represent for my boy John and in the class of 90. 95 is always live. We the best. I don't even know any other class other than 95. Thank you, John. I appreciate you. Yes, let's continue to support one another. I'm supporting what you're doing. The Real Big John 758, right? Real Big John 758 on YouTube. Check out my brother. He is doing his thing, and check him out. We gonna let you get to work, Big John, because you got to make that money. You got a queen in the household. You got to take care of. All the 95 are checking in. Here come T Rod with that 96 shit. Not get on out of here. Get on out of here.
Don't
95
do that. Don't do that.
building.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't
Man,
do
what
that.
you say?
You
What
know
did
that.
you find out?
You know,
What you want the people to walk away with on this evening? Out of all we talked about manhood being under attack, the state of Black relationship. What you want the people to walk away with on this evening?
that we just keep having open dialogue with each other.
Yeah,
Um, keep letting us keep letting each other know, you know, what's um what's appropriate for each other, how to respect each other, how to keep loving each other and everything. Um, I appreciate you providing this platform for me. Uh,
where can the people
me.
see more of your comments? So you listen. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this and keep it. You held back tonight.
Oh man, I mean, hey, you can't give it all to them in one night. And then
we see each other on social media. You held back on us
you can't
tonight,
you
man.
can't you can't give it all to them in one night. You give it all to them in one night, then that's when they get crazy. Why you being weird to me? So you can't give it all to them in one night. You gotta hold back some. But like I
Okay.
said, thank you for giving me the platform. Definitely, I hope to I look to coming back.
Absolutely.
to this platform and have this dialogue with your following and everything. 95, y'all cool. Y'all like 96 big sisters. So we gonna give y'all respect, but at the end of the day, y'all know we do what we do. What we not a we a movement. We a force of nature. Y'all know what it is.
We
But
came first.
we respect y'all though. Y'all will be elders before we will. So we definitely respect y'all. So but like I said, man, to get his little nappy head boy from the
You
project.
like you had some sense tonight. Cause
Hey,
you be saying some shit on, on social
hey
media.
man, for you to get his little nappy head boy from the projects this platform, I am yeah, I am grateful. It ain't nothing but gratitude. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we definitely gonna have you back. We already talked behind the scenes. Some of the things that I have planned, or kind of in my thought process for the new year's, and some events that we gonna put on, and I'll definitely have you back. Ebony said, "Call them out, Nikki. You was talking like you had some sense, so we gonna have to have you back in another mode." And I know you was trying to put on a good polished show for your girl tonight. But next time we have you back, we're gonna have you a little bit more raw and uncut, because we know you be on
Uh,
something.
hey, keep this quote in mind. You can't become old and wise unless you was young and wild.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you ain't never experienced nothing, how can you give an expertise on something?
Ebony said T Rob must have told him. listen, listen, Ebony, because T Rob's scared to come on. He don't
Don't do that. Don't do that. My bro ain't scared.
he's scared
My
to have
bro ain't
his
scared. My
conversation.
bro ain't scared. I talked to him early. He said
So he's
only reason why he wasn't on is because he had to work the 10. That's the
yeah,
only reason why he ain't on. But T Rod got something to say. And
okay.
guess what? It's something
Ebony,
that
T
need to be
Rob,
it's something that
T
need to be
Rob
heard.
said he said y'all abusive. We not abusive. We're not
Yeah.
abusive. We just like having fun and having good conversation. Steph said he ain't ready. He wasn't ready, Steph. He wasn't ready. So
Hey, shout out to Baseline.
he sent Mac in his place.
Hey, shout out to Baseline. Shout out to Taiwan Dickinson, T Rob. Shout out to my bros.
Shout out to y'all. Ebony said, as the youngish says, he gonna get 8 down. I don't know what that means.
It could be a good thing.
Anyway, I thank you, brother. Thank y'all for coming on. I appreciate. We got to continue these discussions. In all seriousness, we got to continue these discussions. We like to have fun with it or whatever. Sometimes we have strong views. I told y'all before, we ain't gonna agree on everything. I may throw a little bit out there,
And that's
but at the
fine.
end of the day, I do agree with the way that you started. You said that we need each other, and so for that
Definitely.
reason alone, we got to continue having these conversations. It ain't always got to be this back and forth. Um, in order for us to communicate, we can communicate in this way and agree, and just know that at the end of the day that we need each other. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you. We'll talk behind the scenes. I will see you next time. I'll see you on social media, but we'll connect behind the scenes and talk about up and coming stuff.
Okay.
All
Blessings,
right.
Queen. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, y'all. So listen, thank y'all for this evening. We got just a little bit of barbershop. Listen, again, we're going to continue some of these conversations. I got some plans for 2024, some things that I'm looking to do in the new year to, continue these, these kinds of discussions. So you got to stay tuned. Please follow me on all social media platforms. I'm on YouTube. She is Nemia. Some of you are checking in from YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share. When you like and subscribe and share, it helps to for YouTube to know that my presence is there. If you're on social media, at She is Nemia, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, please like and subscribe to She is Nemia. Just, I got some things coming up in 2024. So listen, ladies, next week, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. So next week, I have Dr. Stacy. And actually let me share this. So I have a doctor coming on. And her name is Dr. Stacy. She's a board certified OBGYN. She is the founder of Estrogen Hourglass LLC. I have her coming on to talk to us ladies about perimenopause. That she's a bitch. Listen, y'all. I'm having an experience, okay? And I don't know if any of you ladies are having an experience like I'm having an experience, and maybe you're not there yet, but it's soon to come. And so I got an expert coming on that's going to talk to us a little bit and tell us how to deal with it, trying to explain to us what's going on with our bodies. For a lot of us, this is new. We ain't young anymore, okay? And so sometimes we need to really just kind of understand things from a professional standpoint. I'm going to always encourage, if you are going through symptoms, and we're going to talk about if you're going through things, that you get under a doctor's care and you begin to connect the dots, because a lot of times we're unable to connect the dots. We're feeling a certain way. We don't feel normal. Our mental health is, messing with us, anxiety, so on and so forth. And a lot of times we do not connect those dots to perimenopause and menopause. Okay. As Jock says, menopause is disrespectful. And yes, memory gone. It's just a lot that just comes with it, right? Nikki says, my mom gave me a menopause book. Yeah, like it's just a lot. And so Dr. Stacy is going to come on with us next week. So we won't be able to broadcast Monday, but it will be next Tuesday, which I believe is the 19th, but please stay connected to the page because I'll put all this information out here again. Again, her name is Dr. Stacy. She's going to come and talk to us. We're going to ask her some questions, and then we're going to have a chat with my brother, who y'all know, I work out. I try to make, be active. And, baby, I try to drink my water, moisturize, mind my own damn business so my skin can stay glowing. But I'm going to have my trainer Herman Miller come and talk to us about some things that we can do to stay fit and active for us women who are over 40. So that's going to be next week. Please come back, join the conversation, get into it. It's for us. And I just want to thank y'all for your support. I got some things, like I said, in the works coming up in the new year. So I just appreciate the support that you guys have shown so far. If you don't have my book, please, maybe it's not for you. It'll be a great stocking stuffer. Maybe it's not for you, brothers who are checking in. Maybe it's for your wife. Maybe it's for your daughter. Maybe it's for, some other young lady. But in case you don't know, I am an authoress. And I have written a book, and it's called 7 Lessons for Her. You can find it on Amazon. Okay, you type in my name, Nemia Carnese. It's going to be the first book that comes up. And it's all about healing and empowerment and restoration. Some of the things that we talked about tonight with the men, there's a message in those, in some of the things that we talked about, even for us as women. And so it's called 7 Lessons for Her, my very first book, all about healing, empowerment, and restoration. Lessons for every woman who's seeking those things: healing, empowerment, restoration. I guarantee you there is something in this book for you. It will be a blessing. And if not, again, give it to some other woman, young woman in your life. Okay. I'm working on my next project. Okay. So you'll hear more about that sometime in the spring of next year, but I need you to stay tuned. And again, just thank you for your support. Okay. I'm going to end it here. I always like to end it with just, what I call lipstick affirmations. And so I just want to share. Unfortunately, I had to, I won't say unfortunately, but a family member of mine's passed away on my husband's side. And there was a message during the course of the memorial service that really resonated with me, and I wanted to share. And so, one of the things that was shared about my family member that passed away recently is how much a mark she left on other individuals. And it started to make me think about, Nemia, Nikki, what do you want your legacy to be when you leave this earth, when you, go into, afterlife, whatever, go to meet Jesus, what have you? When you leave, what do you want your legacy to be? And so I've been thinking a lot about that, like what legacy, what mark, what influence I want to make on people, because there's a whole lot of crap out there, a whole lot of junk, a whole lot of BS that's out there, but I want to leave a positive impact, right? And so, and listening to the stories, the people that came up and shared about my family member and what mark she left on them and how she encouraged them, and she was a woman of faith, and so on and so forth. It just has me thinking about my own legacy and what impact I want to make and leave on individuals. So I'm going to ask that same question of you. What do you want your legacy to be when you leave this earth? What do you want people to say about you when you leave this earth? It really matters. In order for that legacy to be one of positivity, so on and so forth, it really matters how you treat people. It really matters how you engage with people. It really matters in how you went out of your way to serve other folks. All that makes a matter. All makes a difference. All that leads into what your legacies will be. And so I just encourage you to ponder on that question. What do I want my legacy to be when I leave this earth? What do I want my kids to say about me? What do I want the generations after me, um, when the story is told of my life? When my great 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 grandkids talk about me, Nemia, or the family, or what do I want my legacy to be? What do I want to leave back for others? What do I want people to learn from my life? And so I encourage you to ask that same question for yourself. What do you want your legacy to be? Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Yes, I did cut my hair. I'm rocking my short natural. If you haven't noticed, I'm getting used to it. Yeah, I my own mama didn't even know who I was one day in the grocery store because she's so used to seeing me with hair in my face and all that, and braids and stuff like that. So I had to say, Mama, it's your daughter. But yeah, I'm getting used to the haircut. But anywho, thank y'all for tuning in. See me again next week on the 19th. Look for me on social media. Again, we're going to talk to Dr. Stacy. Thank you for my Mac and John again checking in. Thank you, Jock. She says your hair is cute. Nikki says, see, you gonna make me pick up the scissors again. You look cute. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm getting used to it. But I appreciate it. See me again next week, same time, same back channel, next Tuesday. Again, we're gonna talk to Dr. Stacy. I appreciate y'all support. Stay tuned for bigger and better things in the new year. I'm looking to enhance and improve, even this platform here. So, I want to leave a legacy. What legacy you gonna leave? See y'all, smooches. I appreciate y'all. Bye. Thank you for joining She is Nemia tonight for another edition of High Heels and Lipstick Conversations. We hope you have enjoyed the dialogue. If you like what you've heard tonight, please press the like or love button. The share button is free too, y'all. You can follow She is Nemia on all social media platforms. And if you are feeling generous and would like to support High Heels and Lipstick Conversations, hit a sister up on her Cash App. $ She is Nemia. I appreciate the love, y'all. Please know the views and opinions expressed tonight are those of She is Nemia alone and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entity she represents. Also, music was provided by Upbeat Creators at upbeat.io. Smooches. Until next time, y'all.